The Races video was very successful, and I think to myself, do people like those kinds of videos that much? Short explanations of various types of characters or either concepts with its own healthy amount of jokes. If you want another video like that with either Arknights or any of the other games I talk about, let me know. Also, stop bullying Amiya, guys. She's a rabbit, not a donkey, okay? And I'm sorry I didn't include your favorite characters and examples of a certain race. My maximum number of examples was 3 most of the times. No, I don't hate Best Girl Ansel, so calm down. Anyway, here's the video. Hello my fellow doctors, here we are at the second part of the Operational Intelligence Lore Review. The last 3 records are very interesting, so let's get started. The first record we are looking at is called After Class Homework. This record in particular is not very worth developing since we look in depth into Ifrit's backstory. For what we can take out of the memories that play, Ifrit has a hate for doctors. And I don't mean the player. Ifrit's birthplace is unknown, but she spent most of her life in Rhine Lab, another scientific group trying to cure neuropathy like Rhodes Island. While she developed a good relationship with Silence, the experiments the rest of investigators performed on her made her feel pain and started a series of hallucinations. Even if it was someone else's fault, they started calling her a monster, making her develop a temperament and a degree of self-fear. This condition combined with her vast arts power make her very dangerous to deal with. She tries not to burn things, but she hasn't learned to control her powers yet. It's said that the Sarkas race has a very good affinity for arts, but if we include the boost from neuropathy, it can become too much to handle, especially for someone as young as Ifrit. We also get to know a new character, who Ifrit calls Mumu, another scientist from Rhine Lab. It's not said why she's here, but she helps Ifrit to calm down before Project Red starts throwing hands. Apart from that, we take a look on how Doctor deals with younger patients, teaching them as if they went to school. This is something not many people think about, but when an infected is cast away, they have no access to any education of the sorts, especially if they get infected at a young age. We can see it with Ifrit and also Project Red, who can apparently walk on walls. This record is emotional in a sense, but again it's not very world building. We can make out of this that Rhine Lab may be an allied faction, but in its core they have a lot of questionable experiments. Also, is it just me or if it's the biggest child tsundere I've ever encountered? Now we have the record called Polaris, featuring the event's new 6-star, Magellan. I don't mean to flex, but only one roll by the way. Okay, I swear I won't awaken your past traumas again, I'm sorry. Somewhere in a place called the Northlands, Magellan is a field specialist for Rhine Lab. She calls herself an explorer, and yes, it could be a resume of her job. She was tasked with checking a climate survey before winter. Mayer, another Rhine Lab operator, asks her to test a new material in the harsh cold environment. Right as she steps out the door, she finds an unknown figure. After some panic, we meet this new character calling herself Simone at first. We learn of a new race called the Sami. Judging by her looks, we can assume this race is based around Arctic foxes, which could explain their affinity to cold, including the help of Originum Arts. Simone explains Magellan that she is looking for a certain person. That person is indeed Magellan herself. After debating who should repair a leak in the outpost they're in, Simone reveals herself as a Rhodes Island operator's codename Santala. Of course, she's just a cutscene character. Well, to the time this video is being made, she's not obtainable by any means. At the very end, a bit of Santala's story plays. She was punished by the Ursus Empire, calling her a witch and damaging her left eye. Someone tells her that she must suffer to see her land stained in blood. The Ursus Empire is an expansionist nation that sees their strength in numbers rather than advanced technology. An attack force was trapped inside the storm Santala created, but the invaders swore vengeance before dying. The final record, called Among the Light and the Dust, takes us into a conversation between Closure and Calcit. This record explains what many story-interested players were asking at the time. What do other characters think about the Chernobyl operation? By this I mean how they feel about the Doctor having amnesia, or was it really a wise choice? Just like Scout in the first record, the memory loss of Doctor was sudden and unpredictable. No one wants to make a scientist turn into a war machine. Even with this, there's an atmosphere filled with both happiness and doubt. Calcit is an example of this. She supported Amiya and her decision of rescuing Doctor, but at the same time she was aware that not everything will run smoothly. The reunion problem is a concern that will be fixed with everyone's help. We also get a look at how much effort is put into the infected in Rhodes Island. Closure mentions a 72-hour surgery that Calcit performed in an operator named Heavy Rain, and how much she cares for the infected. Maybe without Doctor they could only hope to relieve the pain, but now there may be a light at the end of the tunnel. In the end, all the conversation was Closure's doing to relieve some stress Calcit had accumulated after all these years. Anyway, that's it for this topic. I hope you enjoyed it, and before I go, I want to make a quick announcement. I've seen a couple of questions in the comments and I find some of them interesting, so for the next lore video I am going to take the questions from the comments of both parts and answer them as simple as possible. If you want to ask something about me or what I plan to do next, you can also leave it in the comments. For now I'm going to do another waifu spotlight because it's been a while since one of those. And that's it. As always, thanks for watching, like the video if you think it's that good, subscribe for more videos about your favorite tower defense game, and I'll see you doctors in the next one. Bye bye.